Hey there. Welcome to Boring Adventures to Sleep 2, where the quests seem quiet enough to lull you under, but hold secrets that stir even the deepest dreams. Tonight, you won't wander palace halls or marble courts. You'll slip into moonlit forests where elves whisper in ancient tongues, cross vine-laced bridges over waters darker than night, and feel the rumble of a slumbering dragon beneath crystal arches. If these boring tales help you drift off, tap like and subscribe. Only if it truly soothes your mind. And let me know in the comments where you're listening from and what hour it is for you right now. There's something comforting about knowing others are slipping into sleep alongside these hushed adventures. So, dim the lights, get cozy, and let the quiet magic unfold. Just remember, sometimes the most peaceful paths hide the deepest mysteries. Let's begin. You settle deeper against your pillow as the world around you fades, and the hush of the narrative carries you away. You find yourself standing at the edge of a moonlit wood. Silver mist drifts between ancient oaks whose trunks spiral toward a velvet sky. Their branches weave overhead into a living cathedral, faint glimmers of starlight filtering through leaves that glow with bioluminescent runes. At the forest's mouth, a carved stone arch, its surface etched with Elven script, stands silent, as if awaiting your step. With one gentle breath, you cross the threshold. Underfoot, the carpet of moss springs softly beneath your boots, and the air smells of damp earth and night-blooming jasmine. Somewhere to your left, water trickles over smooth stones, its rhythm steady and reassuring. To your right, you hear the low hum of ancient magic, so subtle it feels more like a heartbeat than a sound. As you move forward, pale lantern glow flickers in the distance. You follow it, each step slowing time around you. The lanterns hang from slender branches, their light dancing across the faces of carved woodland spirits. Fey guardians who stand motionless, their eyes turned toward the path. Though they never move, you sense their watchful presence guiding you onward. Ahead, the trees part around a circle of standing stones. In the center, a silver pool mirrors the sky, starless yet no longer empty. Ripples form as if touched by unseen fingers. You lean over, watching your reflection shimmer, but when the ripples fade, you see something else. A delicate dragonfly-winged figure hovering above the water, her hair like spun moonlight and eyes like liquid sapphire. She smiles, voice as soft as breeze through petals. Welcome, dreamer. I am Lyriel of the Moonvale Court. Rest here, if you wish, and let the forest song carry you deeper into our world. You sit at the pool's edge, feet brushing the cool stone rim. The hush of night envelopes you. Every rustle of leaf and distant owl call weaving into a lullaby. Lyriel reaches into the water, and from its depths she lifts a single, glowing lotus petal. It drifts toward you, illuminating your hand with gentle light. Hold this, she whispers, and the forest will share its memories with you. As the petal settles in your palm, the whisper of long-forgotten stories blooms in your mind. The flight of silver dragons across eternal skies, the laughter of elven children dancing by hidden glades, and the soft murmur of magic that binds every leaf and stone. Your eyelids grow heavier with each memory. Lyriel's form blurs at the edges, her final words slipping through the haze. When you awaken in your own world, carry our peace with you. And with that, you feel yourself drifting deeper still into the heart of the boring adventures to sleep to, where every silent step is a dream waiting to unfold. You rise slowly from the pool's edge, the glowing lotus petal fading in your hand until only its warmth remains. Around you, the standing stones hum in quiet harmony as if bidding you onward. Lyriel's form drifts back into the moonlight, her smile lingering in your mind like a half-remembered dream. You follow a narrow, deer-worn path that winds between ancient trunks. The moss underfoot grows softer, and each breath you take feels lighter, as though the night air itself carries away your remaining wakefulness. Fireflies drift through the gloom, tiny lanterns dancing in patterns that seem to spell out secret words you almost understand. Ahead, the forest opens onto a meadow blanketed with silvery grass. In its center stands a single, colossal willow whose branches cascade like a waterfall of living silk. Beneath it, a circle of stones forms a natural seat. You step into the meadow. The grass hushes beneath your feet, welcoming you in. The willow's branches sway without wind, and soft, lilting music flows from their leaves. An ancient aria sung by voices you cannot place. You approach the tree and settle onto one of the stones. As you lean back, the willow's lowest branch brushes against your arm, and you feel a gentle pulse, as though the tree itself is breathing. A hush falls. In that hush, you hear the faintest rumble of wings. Looking up, you see a great dragon coiled around the willow's highest boughs. Its scales the color of midnight, eyes like molten silver. It lets out a soft exhale that trembles through the leaves. You have come far, Dreamwalker, the dragon murmurs, voice like distant thunder. I am Nyxarian of the moonless flight. Rest here, and I will share a tale older than the stars you've rekindled. You watch as Nyxarian unfurls one wing, revealing runes etched in pale light along its span. Every rune pulses in time with the willow's song. Leaning forward, you allow your thoughts to quiet completely, ready to receive whatever ancient wisdom he offers. The dragon's deep, resonant tone begins. Long before the age of empires, when the world was young and the first articles of creation were still whispered into being, there lived a line of dragons who guarded the balance of night. They wove shadows into safety and dreams into design, keeping the world's heart steady through storms of chaos. As Nyxarian speaks, his tale drifts over you like a cocoon. The meadow fades, the willow's branches blur, and you feel yourself cradled between the dragon's words and the hush of the night. Each phrase wraps around your mind, lulling you deeper into the realm of legend. And there, beneath dragon wings and singing leaves, you slip fully into the gentle embrace of sleep, carrying with you the first threads of a story that will guide you through the starless sea and beyond. You drift deeper into Nyxarian's tale as his words weave through your thoughts like gentle currents. In the hush that follows his first breath of legend, you feel the meadow melting away, replaced by the dim glow of a cavern wide as twilight itself. Stalactites hang like inverted forests of crystal, each one humming softly as droplets fall into pools of liquid moonlight below. Your boots make no sound on the earthen floor, but you sense a path winding between pillars that glow with living runes. The dragon's voice, still echoing in your mind, guides you onward. Follow me, Dreamwalker, to where the balance was first forged. Before you, the cavern slopes downward into a crystalline tunnel. Every step carries you deeper into the earth, and the air grows cooler, carrying the scent of frost and stone. Nyxarian glides beside you, his massive form luminous against the cavern-shadowed walls, each beat of his wing a heartbeat beneath your feet. At the tunnel's end, the cavern opens into a great hall whose floor is a sheet of black ice. Reflected above are constellations you've never seen, stars that pulse in hues of violet and silver. In the center of the hall stands an ancient altar of onyx, upon which rests a single shard of pure starlight, glowing softly as though alive. The shard is framed by a ring of ice-carved dragons, their mouths open in silent roar, fangs of frost glinting. Nyxarian lowers his head, voice a low rumble. Here was the heart of night, the first spark that shaped twilight and dream. The dragons of old sacrificed their own breath to birth this light, and in doing so, wove the first dreamscape of the world. You step forward and place a trembling hand upon the shard. Its radiance seeps into your palm, warm and alive. Immediately, visions flood your mind. A sky before dawn, when darkness and starlight battle for the first time. The beating wings of primordial WMS shaping clouds into islands of shadow. The first mortals raising their eyes in awe at the birth of night. Emotion wells in your chest. Wonder, longing, and the soft, pervasive comfort of being part of something vast. As the visions fade, you realize you are no longer mere witness, but participant. You feel the heartbeat of creation echo in your bones. Nyxarian's whisper follows. Carry this spark within you, Dreamwalker. It is the seed of balance, light born of shadow, dream born of night. The ice beneath you shivers, and the hall's edges blur. When your vision clears, you stand once more beneath the willow's boughs in the moonlit meadow. The dragonet nestles at your feet, its lavender scales now gleaming with starlight. Elindra and Seraphine wait nearby, their silhouettes framed by the willow's glowing branches. You rise, heart calm, yet alight with purpose. The meadow's silver grass brushes your legs as you make your way back toward the forest's edge. The path you once walked now feels different, charged with the same hum you felt in the cavern. Every rustle of leaf and flicker of firefly seems to acknowledge your changed self. Beyond the arch of living trees lies the observatory, occluded by shadow and moonbeam. Though familiar, it feels new, as though it has awaited your return. Ahead, the Dragon's Maw doorway stands open, and you step through it without pause. Inside, the chamber's violet lanterns glow brighter, the runes along the walls shimmering in welcome. Kilian, the silver-haired elf keeper you met long ago, greets you with a soft nod. You carry the heart of night, he observes, eyes bright with pride. The observatory's purpose is restored. The stars remember you. He gestures to the telescope, now gleaming with starlight. As you approach, you feel the shard's warmth in your chest, guiding your hand to the eyepiece. When you look through it, the dome fractures into hundreds of constellations, each a living thread in the tapestry of night. You withdraw and turn to your companions, breath steady. The sea of night awaits, you say, voice calm yet firm. Elindra's ember-forged sword flickers in approval. Seraphine's robes swirl, constellations dancing across their silver folds. The dragonet chirps, ready to lead. Together, you emerge onto the balcony. Before you, the starry archipelago stretches, a realm reborn beneath the glow of ancient light. Floating isles drift across obsidian waters, connected by living bridges of vine and mist. Dragons soar between them, their wings tracing luminescent trails. As you step forward onto the first bridge, the vines coil around your boot, steadying your heart. Every step is a promise of discovery, every breath a testament to the spark you now carry. The hush of night envelopes you, and in that silence you understand. This journey is far from over. Each isle holds a new legend, each path an invitation to wonder. And so you walk into the starlit realm, dreamwalker of the balance, bearer of the heart of night. Let the adventure unfold, and may your dreams guide you ever onward, beyond the edges of sleep and into the boundless expanse of midnight's embrace. You plant your foot on the swaying vine bridge, and it quivers under your weight. Yet instead of fear, you feel a gentle thrill. The vines tighten around your boots, guiding you forward as the first aisle drifts into view. Beneath you, the obsidian waters glow with soft pulses like distant heartbeats, reminding you of the starless sea's new rhythm. Ahead rises a ruin half swallowed by silver-leaved trees. Moss flows over broken steps, and marble columns stand crooked, crowned with lanterns shaped like drooping blossoms. Their light spills across a shallow pool fed by subterranean springs. Steam drifts from the water's surface, curling into the night air. You disembark on a smooth stone and pause. The gentle hiss of steam and the distant croon of hidden birds create a quiet lullaby. Elindra bends to touch a column, brushing away moss to reveal a rune, the symbol of healing entwined with a stylized dragon. Seraphine's lips part in a silent incantation, her fingertips tracing the rune's curves. The dragonet flutters ahead, its lavender glow illuminating submerged carvings in the pool's edge, images of wounded warriors and weeping spirits. You kneel beside the water, cupping in your hands. It tastes of moonlight and warmth. As you sip, you feel a soothing current flow through your veins, knitting weariness into strength. A gentle voice echoes through the ruin. Here, broken souls find solace, dreamwalker. You look up to see a figure in hooded white robes, staff in hand, stepping from a mist. Her features are soft, with eyes like dawn's first light. I am Marathon, guardian of renewal, she says. This I'll test the wounds you carry, from past or present. Drink, and let the waters reveal what must be healed. You dip fully into the pool, submerging your arms and letting the steam curl around your shoulders. Warmth seeps to your bones, and visions drift through your mind. Moments of doubt, fear, and loss you thought long buried. You watch them not with pain, but with acceptance as the waters wash them away, leaving clarity in their wake. When you emerge, Marathon's staff pulses softly, and the pool's surface smooths into perfect glass. Your wounds do not define you, she whispers. They guide you toward compassion. She bows, and the steam dissipates, revealing a hidden stair tucked beneath a fallen column. You rise, renewed, as the ruins' lanterns dim behind you. Ahead, the vine bridge stretches toward the next aisle, its silhouette marked by towering spires of amethyst rock. With each step, you carry the island's healing with you, ready for whatever challenge waits beyond the waters of midnight. You step from the steaming ruin onto the vine bridge once more, renewed calm settling in your chest. The vines pulse softly beneath each footfall, guiding you toward the next island. Jagged spires of amethyst rock rising from the obsidian sea like carved fangs. Their violet facets catch the lantern light, scattering prisms across the water surface. As you draw near, the bridge widens into a platform of polished purple stone. For columns stand at the corners, each crowned by a crystal prism that hums with a quiet resonance. When you place your hand on one, its glow intensifies, and a distant melody, half-forgotten lullaby, floats on the night breeze. Elindra strides at your side, blade sheathed, while Seraphine's robes swirl around her like living mist. The dragonet perches on a prism's edge, its lavender eyes bright with curiosity. Ahead, a tall archway of amethyst bears no door, only a rune carved in glowing silver, the symbol of memory. You step through the arch and find yourself in a circular chamber where the walls are lined with mirrors framed in dragonbone. Each mirror reflects not your current self, but a fragment of your past, a childhood triumph, a sorrowful goodbye, a moment of quiet joy. The reflections shift as you move, reminding you of paths taken and moments past. A soft voice comes from the center of the room. Welcome, Dreamwalker. I am Elian, Warden of Remembrance. From the shadows steps an elf in robes of twilight blue, silver hair braided with nightshade blossoms. His eyes hold the weight of centuries. This I'll ask you to honor what shaped you, he continues. To move forward, you must let each memory guide you without holding you back. You close your eyes and let the mirrored images swirl in your mind. The laughter of old friends, the ache of loss, the quiet moments when hope bloomed unexpectedly. When you open your eyes, the mirrors have melted into pools of liquid violet light on the floor. In the center lies a single, iridescent feather, soft as cloud, glowing with every hue of sunset. Elian gestures. Take the feather. With it, you carry the gift of memory, to remember without being bound. You reach down and lift the feather. Its warmth seeps into your palm, and a gentle clarity settles in your thoughts. You sense that the memories which once anchored you now propel you onward, each one a lantern lighting the path ahead. The pools of violet light ripple, forming a staircase that spirals upward around the chamber's walls. You climb, the feather tucked into your satchel, until you emerge back on the amethyst platform. The prisms glow brighter, then shatter into motes of purple light that drift like embers into the sky. Beyond the platform, the vine bridge continues toward a distant, all shrouded in pale mist. Tall pines, their needles silver in the moonlight, ring the shore. You cross the bridge, feeling the night air grow cooler, tinged with pine and frost. The dragonet curls around your ankles, its scales sparkling like dew. On the mist-shrouded shore, you find a circle of standing stones carved with shifting runes, symbols of silence, dream, and truth. The hush here is profound. Even your breath seems too loud. A figure in hooded black robes stands in the mist, staff in hand. "I am Vorin, keeper of dreams," he says, voice muffled as though heard through water. "This I'll ask you to face your deepest dream and your darkest fear." Ahead, the mist parts to reveal a winding path lined with lanterns whose flames burn without light. Each lantern holds a dream, a vision of a future you long for, then flickers to a nightmare you dread. Some show triumph and reunion. Others show solitude and loss. With each step, your heart both quickens and falters. You walk the path, pausing at each lantern. Where the flame burns bright, you allow hope to fill you. Where it flickers to shadow, you draw a steadying breath and press on. At the path's end, an ebony gate stands ajar. Beyond, a silent garden blooms. Flowers the color of midnight unfold in slow motion, petals whispering secrets as they unfurl. In the center of the garden lies a polished obsidian bench. You sit, placing palms flat upon its cool surface. The garden's hush envelopes you, and you feel the weight of every dream and fear settle into quiet harmony. A small silver bloom unfolds beside you, petals reaching toward your hand. You touch it gently, and the bloom dissolves into motes of starlight that drift into the sky. Vorin's voice comes once more. "You have faced the echoes of your heart and found balance. Take this starlight, your dreams made real, and let it guide you through darkness." He holds out his staff, and at its tip hovers a single mode of silver light. You reach out, capturing it, and feel its brilliance warm your spirit. The mist parts fully, revealing the final stretch of vine bridge leading back toward the observatory's distant silhouette. Each step home carries with it the gifts you have claimed: healing waters, integrated memory, honored dreams. The archipelago glows beneath the starlit sky, islands drifting like living constellations. As you step onto the final bridge, the vines pulse in farewell, then dim. Ahead, the observatory's marble archway stands open, its spires now adorned with the crystals, feathers, and petals you've gathered. The telescope's brass gleams under a sky no longer starless but alive with countless new constellations. You cross the threshold into the grand hall. Killian awaits by the telescope, his expression proud. "Dreamwalker," he says softly, "you have rekindled the starry archipelago. Each isle's gift now shines through you. Gaze upon the night and see the world reborn." You step to the telescope and peer upward. The dome's glass has fractured into a kaleidoscope of lights, each shard reflecting an island's essence: violet, emerald, silver, and more. As you watch, the constellations align into a single symbol, the dragon's wing cradling a crescent moon. You withdraw and turn to your companions. Ailindra's ember glow warms your heart. Seraphine's robes glint with starlight. The dragonet unfurls its wings, shimmering like living nebula. Together, you stand beneath the vaulted ceiling, hearts and hopes entwined. A hush falls. Then, across the observatory, the runes shimmer in unison, and a deep, resonant chime echoes through every hall. You feel it within your bones, a promise that the adventure continues, that the starry archipelago will drift on under your watch, and that every night holds new isles, new wonders, new stories. You exhale, allowing the quiet joy to settle. Here, in this place of dreams and stone, you are both witness and creator. And as your eyelids grow heavy once more, you know that the world you've rekindled will guide your sleep, filling your dreams with light, hope, and the gentle thrill of endless adventure. You linger on the marble floor of the observatory for a moment, letting the chime's final echo fade. Then, with Elindra at your left and Seraphine at your right, You slip out through the grand archway once more, this time stepping into a gentle pre-dawn glow that wasn't there before. The vine bridge beneath your feet hums with one last pulse before settling into stillness. Across the shimmering water of the archipelago, you spot your next destination, an isle ringed by pale mist, crowned with dark spires of basalt and draped in silvery banners that flutter though no breeze stirs. As you set foot on its fog-cloaked shore, the air feels thicker, charged with unseen whispers that brush against your ears like a dozen hushed voices. The dragonet pads ahead, its lavender scales glinting as it pauses by a low, rune-carved arch underneath the arch. A narrow path winds between granite pillars etched with shifting symbols of voice and silence. You step forward, each footfall stirring pale mist. The whispers grow clearer, snatches of conversation, laughter, a distant sigh. They curve around you, tugging at your thoughts, memories half-heard, secrets half-spoken. Above, the banner's silvery fabric ripples, forming letters in an ancient tongue. Listen and be heard. Guided by that simple command, you follow the path until it opens onto a courtyard dominated by a great well of obsidian stone. The well's dark waters reflect nothing but fog, and yet, as you lean over its rim, you hear voices, a child calling for her mother, a scholar murmuring forbidden prayers, a warrior singing a lament for fallen comrades. Ailindra's voice breaks the spell. The Well of Whispers, she says softly. It holds the echoes of every soul who's sought its counsel. Seraphine steps beside you, raising her staff so that its crystal tip glows with gentle light. To claim this isle's gift, she explains, you must speak your truth and listen as it takes form. You kneel at the well's edge and close your eyes. In the hush, you gather your own voice, soft and steady. Then speak aloud. Your hope for guidance, your promise to carry these stories forward, your gratitude for the magic that brought you here. The waters below stir, and ripples rush outward in glowing tendrils that rise to form a single figure. Yourself, voice incarnate, cloaked in starlight. The spectral you steps forward, meeting your gaze with loving intensity. In its eyes, you see the weight of all you've experienced so far. The trials faced, the gifts earned, the quiet moments that carried you here. When the echo self nods, the ripples recede, and the waters settle once more. In your hand appears a single, obsidian quill inscribed with silver runes. Its feathered tip pulses with a soft glow. Take this. The voices murmur on the breeze. With it, your words carry the power to shape dreams. You rise, tucking the quill into your satchel alongside the artifacts you've gathered. The mist parts to reveal a hidden stair that spirals upward into a tower, cloaked in shadow. You climb, and each step resonates with the murmur of distant stories, until you reach a circular chamber lined with shelves of empty scrolls. Painting runes in the air with your new quill, you watch as glowing ink flows onto a blank parchment, inscribing the whispered truths you spoke. With each line, the scroll comes alive, its words drifting off the page as motes of light, carrying your voice across the archipelago. Below, the banners unfurl, their silvery letters turning once more into tangled script before fading away. The dragonet chirps, delighted, and you sense the isle's blessings settle into your bones. The power of spoken word, the gift of listening, the echo of your own truth woven into the world. Descending back to the courtyard, you find the mist lifting. Across the water, the observatory's spires gleam in dawn's first light, and the next vine bridge awaits. With quill in hand, chronicle at your side, and companion steadfast, you step forward, ready to carry your voice into every corner of the sea of stars. The journey continues, dreamwalker. Let your words guide both dream and waking world, and may your truths ripple far beyond these silent shores. You cross the bridge in silence, the rhythm of your steps blending with the soft rustling of vines beneath your feet. The sea of stars spreads wide once more, a shimmering canvas of blue-gold light and drifting petals from trees that don't grow in this world but bloom only in dreams. The dragonet flutters just above your shoulder, and you feel it occasionally brush your neck, anchoring you gently in this realm that is at once solid and made of mist. Ahead lies a cluster of islands bound together by braided root bridges and arching crystal pathways. Each isle pulses with a different rhythm. One glows red and hums with drums, another shines green and echoes with birdsong, while one sits utterly still beneath a silver dome of silence. You follow the path that draws your breath without knowing why. The bridge you step on now is made from the spine of some long-forgotten beast, its bones ancient and smoothed by time, glowing faintly with inner warmth. When you set foot on the next island, the world seems to tilt ever so slightly, not violently, but as though reality has shifted its weight just to see what you'll do next. It is an island of mirrors, but not glass mirrors. These are pools of water suspended mid-air, rippling gently, showing not reflections but possibilities. Paths you could have walked, lives you might have lived, friends not met, battles not fought, songs never sung. In one pool, you're older, standing before a burning city, holding a sword of green fire. In another, you are winged, flying over storm clouds. In yet another, you are still, peacefully tending a grove where children laugh and chase butterflies with wings made of runes. You stop, because one pool shows you as you are now, standing right here, eyes wide with wonder, watching yourself watching. Elindra says nothing. Seraphine stands at a distance, giving you space. Even the dragonet hovers in respectful quiet. These are your echoes, your roads not taken, your truths. A voice, your voice, emerges softly from behind you. Every story you've seen, they were possible. They are possible. They may yet be. You turn and find no one there. Only another mirror pool, now gone still. In your hand, the quill glows faintly. It vibrates with choice. Then the island shifts again, and the pools flatten. You breathe, the way someone breathes after surfacing from a long dive. And you walk forward. Now, the next bridge is not a bridge at all, but a stairwell that winds downward into the roots of the archipelago, descending into darkness. Not a threatening darkness, but a heavy one, like deep sleep or the moment before a dream begins. You descend with slow steps, and each footfall sounds like a heartbeat. Down, 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 until the light above is a memory, and the dark ahead begins to whisper in colors. There's a door at the bottom, made of old wood and bound with iron, carved with symbols you've never seen, but which your soul seems to know by heart. You raise a hand and knock once. The door opens inward with a gentle groan. You step into a warm, fire-lit room, small, circular, lined with books and rugs. A kettle steams on the hearth. A single armchair sits before the fire. The space smells of cedar, lavender, and parchment. A place out of time. A place between. Her words are a warning and an invitation. You kneel beside it. The well is dry, but shadows gather in its bottom like ink pooling across a scroll. You do not lean over, but in its depths, something ancient stirs. A voice, gentle and grave, speaks in your mind. One day, you will be given a choice. Between what you desire and what is needed, the voice fades. You rise, and you move on, heart a little heavier and yet steadier too. As twilight stretches across the land, you arrive at a ridge where lanterns float mid-air, dozens, hundreds, drifting in slow, solemn spirals. Each carries a single name written in gold leaf. You recognize none, and yet each one feels familiar. Seraphine halts. Her gaze fixes on a lantern that seems to resist the wind. This is a place of memory, she says, and not all who remember do so kindly. But you step forward, and one lantern breaks away from the spiral and lowers toward you. It hovers inches from your face. Your name is written on it. And below it, a word you've not heard in a long time. Home. You reach for it. The lantern flares gently, then bursts into 1,000 fireflies, scattering into the dusk. Seraphine does not speak. Elindra brushes your shoulder again. Even the wind remembers you, she says quietly. The road twists down into a thickening forest now, one that hums with quiet life. Not danger, just life. Moss glows blue beneath your feet. Mushrooms blink in greeting. You pass a stone fox curled asleep beside a sword buried in the roots of an ancient tree. The fox lifts its head and nods to you before fading into mist. And then a song reaches you. Soft, lilting, wordless, yet heavy with meaning. It guides you to a clearing where a circle of beings sit around a fire. A harp-playing satyr with silver antlers, a dryad with bark-scarred arms and mossy hair, a half-troll child humming to a bird perched on his head, and, across from them all, a blindfolded elf playing a flute carved from bone. They pause as you approach. The satyr gestures to the empty space beside him. "We've been waiting," he says warmly. You sit. No one speaks for a time. They simply play and hum and listen to each other, to the forest, to you. And then the blindfolded elf leans forward. "We heard your story before you ever stepped into it," he says. "Now we offer you ours." He taps his flute to the ground once, and the earth shifts. The clearing melts away, and you are elsewhere again, this time standing before a vast city carved into a cliffside, towers spiraling upward like vines of stone, bridges stretching between them like spider silk. Dragons coil through the air like lazy ribbons, and elves with opalescent skin walk beside goblins in scholars' robes. The city breathes magic, lies magic. Seraphine grins. "Welcome to Namril, the city that remembers everything. You've stepped into the heart of an empire once lost to time, and it remembers you. You don't know why. Not yet. But the answer lies ahead. So you take a breath and step forward into its gates. The story continues. "Welcome," says a voice, not yours this time. Soft, low, calm. The figure who speaks sits in the chair, back turned to you. A cloak of mossy green drapes over one shoulder, and a staff rests nearby. They do not turn to look at you, yet somehow they see you entirely. "You've come far," they say, "and it's only just begun." They gesture toward a second chair that wasn't there before. You sit, and for a while, nothing happens. Only the fire crackling. Only your own breath, steady. Only the sense that something old and wise sits across from you and will speak in its own time. Then the figure lifts their hand and tosses something small and glowing into the fire. It bursts into light, and the flames twist into a vision of a tower on a cliff, a storm rolling in, a creature with 7 eyes crawling from the deep, and a song, sung by a voice not yet born. What you see, they whisper, is your next thread. And you understand. This journey will not be told in days or weeks, but in threads woven through time and self and memory. The old figure turns at last, and though their face is shadowed, their eyes gleam gold, feline and ancient. "Tell it well," they say, "for the world sleeps lighter when your story lives within it." You blink, and you are back outside. The door has vanished, but the path ahead shines again, and the archipelago welcomes you forward. You stand, you smile, and you walk on. The adventure, Dreamwalker, continues. And somewhere, just beyond the horizon, dragons stir. You tread onward, each footstep now steady with a kind of quiet confidence you didn't know you'd earned. The world ahead unfurls like parchment, revealing rolling hills stitched with golden grass, moonflowers that bloom in daylight, and distant silhouettes of creatures. Some familiar, some impossibly strange. You sense, without knowing how, that this place honors stories, not just great legends, but quiet ones too. Not just epics, but whispered promises and unspoken dreams. The path bends toward a winding road framed by willows that seem to lean in to listen. And as you pass beneath their silver leaves, they whisper your name, not aloud, but in the language of rustling, like wind remembering something soft. Alindra hums beside you, her voice blending with the trees. You catch glimpses of her power in the way nearby blossoms bloom, just slightly more vividly when she passes. Seraphine walks ahead, blade loose at her side, eyes ever watchful. The dragon it trails behind this time weaving lazy loops in the air. Soon, the path opens into a small glade, one with a broken well at its center. Around the well, stone statues are scattered, their expressions frozen in wonder, fear, and awe. You approach cautiously. There's no malevolence here, but something old sleeps beneath the soil. Alindra's hand touches your shoulder. Don't look into the well. The gates of Namril open not with fanfare, but with a sigh, an exhalation of ancient stone, wood, and whispered secrets. The air inside smells of parchment and storm clouds, incense, and ink. It is a city made not merely of mortar, but of memory. The walls shimmer slightly, as though layered with the dreams of those who once walked them. As you cross the threshold, a hush falls. The city doesn't speak, but it notices you. And something about that, about being known in a place so old, makes your chest tighten in a way that's not quite fear, not quite awe. Alindra walks ahead without hesitation, her presence reverent. This city, she murmurs, is older than all the gods you've heard of, and wiser than the dragons who dare not fly above it. She gestures toward a massive tree growing in the center of a public square. Its leaves are crystal, humming faintly, and its bark bears carved names in 1,000 forgotten languages. Alindra pauses, running her fingers across the trunk. A glow pulses where she touches. The tree responds, glowing back, recognizing her. You step closer, and the tree pulses again. Just once. Your name hasn't yet been carved, but the tree has noticed you, too. A bell tolls in the distance. Then another, and another. Each bell a different pitch, harmonizing into something like a chime, meant to awaken an ancient slumber. People, elves, dwarves, horned feyfolk, creatures you cannot name, all lift their heads in unison, then go about their day, as if this was the most natural thing in the world. Seraphine snorts. Welcome to the hour of remembering. Happens every day. They say the bells keep the past from wandering too far. You walk through the city and see it breathe. Carts hover a few inches above the cobbled roads, drawn by beasts made of shadow and moss. Market stalls sell scrolls that murmur when touched, swords that pulse with light when lies are spoken nearby, pastries that promise dreams of peace. Children chase floating lanterns while an old orc tells stories to a gathering crowd, his voice soft and smoky. One tale bleeds into another, and the streets begin to guide you, not physically, but spiritually, as if the city itself has gently taken your shoulder and pointed you down an alley paved in memory. You follow it into a library so massive it swallows light. Staircases rise like tangled vines, lined with glowing runes. Tomes float gently from shelf to shelf, whispering ideas to one another in languages too old for time. A creature greets you at the door, neither human nor beast. Its eyes are liquid amber. New reader. It says, "What question did you bring with you today?" You open your mouth, but you don't know yet. Not the right question. The creature smiles anyway. Then read. The question will find you. And so you do. The book you open is blank, until your fingers brush the page. And suddenly, it is not blank at all. It holds the story of your arrival, written in beautiful, flickering script. You flip back a few pages. The tale begins before you even woke in that cabin, before the rain, before the voice. The pages keep going. You stop before reaching the end. Not yet. Something within the story shifts. And from behind you, a low growl curls through the silence. You turn, and there, in the middle of the library, stands a creature cloaked in ash and antlers. Its form shifting like smoke, but its gaze sharp and bright as lightning. It tilts its head. It speaks with a voice like tearing fabric. Why are you in my story? The world holds its breath. Seraphine's sword is halfway drawn. Alindra doesn't move. The creature watches only you. The book in your hands glows. A single word appears at the top of the next page. Run. And so you do. The world explodes into motion. Books shriek in forgotten tongues. Staircases twist sideways. The floor becomes mist. You flee through corridors that weren't there moments ago, guided only by instinct and the faint trail of silver fire that Alindra leave behind. The creature gives chase. But this is a place of knowledge, of ancient lore. And you remember something in your chest, like an ember catching wind. This city knows you. It wants you here. A hallway unfolds to your left, doors bursting open with a hiss of magic. Aelindra dives through. Seraphine covers the rear. You pass through, and the door slams shut behind you. Silence. Then breath. And then laughter. Your laughter. You're alive, and you're beginning to understand. You're not just a visitor in this world. You are becoming part of its story. The road continues. An adventure is not something ahead. It's something within. You emerge into a sun-drenched courtyard, your breath steadying as the chaos of the library fades behind you. Aelindra and Seraphine stand beside you. The ash-antlered creature has dissolved into motes of ash riding the courtyard wind. The world seems to pause. A gentle voice drifts through the air, comforting, warm, familiar. You have rejoined a crossroads. The story resets here, where choice still breathes. The voice belongs to the moss-cloaked figure from the firelit room, stepping forward at last into sunlight. Their eyes glow softly gold. They extend their hand, not to lead, but to offer rest. You take it. The world bends gently around you, settling into quiet harmony. The air tastes of lavender and turning pages. The vine bridge back to the observatory shimmers ahead. Your satchel holds. The dragon's feather from the trial of memory. The pearl of reflection. The heart of Nightshard. The obsidian quill of voice. Together, they hum gently, as if recognizing your presence. Each tile, river, and lantern across Namaril nods in recognition as you walk. At the observatory, Killian greets you with serene pride. Dreamwalker, you have earned tonight's rest, he says. The telescope now shows a sky bright with new constellations shaped like your symbol, the dragon's wing cradling a crescent moon. Aelindra and Seraphine stand with you as the dome glass above hums softly. Lanterns dim as the starry sky takes over. You breathe deeply, guides and gifts at your side. You awaken a deeper truth. This realm is alive, waiting for your next story. Your first voyage in the Starry Archipelago has ended, for now. You carry wisdom, compassion, memory, and voice. Your chronicle rests closed, but full of promises inked in starlight. Tomorrow, or whenever you return, the doors will open again. New trials, new isles, new powers await. But tonight, let your eyelids close. Let the hush of dragons, the whisper of runes, and the glow of silvery constellations carry you gently into sleep. When you awaken, know this. Your story continues. Until then, Dreamwalker, rest well under the constellation you helped restore.